Hi Libra, this is your forecast for the month of March 2019. This is a general reading for Libra Sun, Libra Rising, or Libra Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. So Libra, we're starting off the first week of March with fire energy. This could be a Leo, Sagittarius, an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or perhaps just the traits of this queen will be important. This could be a week where you are either feeling very enterprising or connecting with people who are. This could be somebody who is very career-minded, an entrepreneur, or somebody involved in a lot of projects. Although it could just as well be somebody who is a devoted wife or mother, because this is a very protective energy. This is someone concerned with their family, their friends, their community. And so issues of protection may be important, or being in control, because sometimes this queen loves to manage other people and she can overmanage the lives of those around her. So being domineering or trying to influence a situation may be the focal point. And this is a week where you want to use your own power to influence others. You may be particularly magnetic or very passionate about something. There's a sense of, going after something, what you want, and feeling as if you deserve it. Because this queen is very sure of herself. She's confident. She's a leader. She knows what she has to offer. And she's proud of her assets. And so this could be a week where you may be pursuing your own interests with some fierce determination. You've got strong powers of attraction right now, and you may be trying to self-promote. And so you may be enjoying the challenge of the game, the competition, and you're very intent on getting what you want. Or maybe you're connecting with somebody like this. This could be somebody who is a leader in some industry. Maybe she's an expert. She could be a patron. She may be involved, as a chair of different organizations. She could be somebody who is researching, planning, marketing, promoting. And so this is a week where your own personal desire to get attention, to be front and center, may increase. You want to be appreciated. And again, you've got a lot of pulling power, and this could be a week where a lot of interest is surrounding you. Whether that is romantically, socially, or business-wise, you're connecting with people who share your same enthusiasm for life, your need for change, spontaneity, adventure, where your goals are aligning and the personalities are complementary. But for others of you, this is a week where maybe, there's definitely change, but maybe the change is not exactly what you want. It could be that you are going out of your way for people to notice you or to get that appreciation, and you're doing it in negative ways to the point where maybe you're coming on a little bit too strong. There are too many demands, and what you hope to attract, you actually end up being off-putting. There could be an ending or having to face some kind of truth. And for some of you, if you're looking to get that attention, you may find that you're waiting in vain for something. So this could be a week where you're going after what you want. Maybe you're being very original or strong-minded. This is about being true to your beliefs. And perhaps you're serving as an advocate for somebody, in support of someone, or you are receiving that. Negatively, again, this could be somebody who is insensitive. They're focused merely on what they want, and they can be unyielding, temperamental, bitter about something. And so you're having to look at a situation that you want to steer toward your favor. And you have to be careful how you do that. You may be willing to take a risk, or you may be going to extremes in order to achieve something. And for some of you, this is rooted in some kind of insecurity that may create some kind of quarrel. So there could be some power plays or some drama or some ruthlessness taking place this week. Positively, this is about, again, knowing what you're worth, knowing what you desire, and fully feeling the confidence to go after it and steer a situation toward your favor. You're wielding your influence in the best way possible. Now, the second week, you have the High Priestess. And so this is a week where you may be focusing on perhaps a woman in your life. This could be a daughter, a sister, a friend who's likely to be single, maybe a platonic relationship, or you're involved with somebody who deals with emotions, intuition. So it could be a psychic, a psychologist, a counselor. This may be for some, an indication that that Queen of Wands is the other woman, a mistress, because the Queen of Wands is comfortable with her sexuality, with her body. She's not afraid to be the mistress or play that role of seductress. And so with the High Priestess there could be something hidden. She's the secret woman, or she's the woman behind the scenes. But that's not for all of you. Although this is a week where something is going on behind the scenes. Somebody may be keeping a secret, or something hasn't been revealed. Something may be hidden. Now, some of you are going to be connecting with somebody who can inform you of the inner workings of a situation. They know that inside loop, the inside track, and they can give you that information. And perhaps you're trying to steer matters your way by either getting into something to find the answers you've been looking for, or perhaps keeping some kind of secret or being discreet. Or you may decide that you steer matters your way by just not getting involved. So hopefully this is a week where you have greater intuitive awareness. You may be gaining some kind of enlightenment or psychological insight. You may be getting that advice through others, or trusting your own inner voice, because you could be dealing with some hidden influences due to past conditioning, your subconscious. And maybe these tie to your early memories, your childhood, or patterns that you've been stuck in. It could have been in another lifetime. Some of you, this is a week where you're maybe focused on your physical health. If you're female, there could be some female issues or some digestive issues. Others of you, you are definitely being very creative. You're working perhaps on to develop some kind of hidden talent. Now, you're at an emotional high this week, and people will respond accordingly. So keep in mind that Queen of Wands and how intent you are on getting your desires, and whether you are attracting people or you're turning them off. Because whatever you are this week, that's going to be mirrored back to you. Your relationships, and more so with women, are going to change this week. Some kind of reevaluation or reconstruction in a female relationship. And you're going to have to rely on your intuition about how to move forward, because an opportunity is also going to arise. It could be monetary, it could be, a creative opportunity, an opportunity to have a relationship. Whatever it is, you're going to have to examine it carefully and go within to figure out if it's right for you. Because whatever this is, it's not exactly as it appears on the surface. This is like getting the contract and making sure you read the fine print. You're going to have to, be careful of your moods this week, because you may feel very fluctuating, very moody, and it may color the way you view a situation, and you're going to have to try to stick to the facts. It could be that maybe there's somebody that you want to protect. Remember, the Queen of Wands is very protective, and she can overmanage the lives of others. So you may be trying to protect somebody that's very important to you. And yet, even though you have good intent, it creates some kind of challenge in your relationship or a situation. And you're going to have to look at, again, some opportunity that you feel, may be your destiny, but maybe it's not. Maybe the price connected to this opportunity is a little bit too high to pay. Now, some of you may be dealing with somebody who's working behind the scenes negatively. This could be somebody manipulating, or somebody that doesn't have your best interests at heart, a secret enemy per se, or somebody who's troubled or shallow or superficial, somebody who's self-destructive. If this is the mistress, maybe somebody who's promiscuous. But your ability to gauge a situation accurately is going to be challenged, tested. So your insight, your perception is either going to reward you, or you're going to feel as if you're being tested. You are going to have to reevaluate something this week. How you feel, something maybe you once believed, perhaps some kind of promise that was made, a goal that you're going after. And the answers are going to be inside you. And as soon as you can figure that out, you can move quickly and move forward. Now, there can be a tendency for you yourself to act on your own bias, your own prejudice about a situation. Maybe you don't have emotional control, or maybe you're stuffing your feelings down and repressing something. Maybe there's a talent that you need to develop and you're failing to use it. Some of you, you're being, maybe hypersensitive or connecting to people who are. So you may be relying too much on your rational thought, your analysis, the facts. So you need to find the middle ground between your intuition, your left brain, right brain. And some of you may be trying to bend the rules a bit to suit yourself. You say something so that something will come out in your favor. Maybe you are trying to, overcome some kind of challenge, or you want to keep people in the dark, or you want to keep them confused so that you can outwit them or beat out the competition. In the process of doing that, though, you may bring on a little bit more drama or intrigue than you are ready to deal with. So be careful of your choices. Again, you're doing some reevaluation. It could be that you need to make some decisions that you're going to break out of a routine. You're going to do something differently. You're going to get some advice or trust your intuition about how to move forward. Perhaps there's something you need to let go of and move away from. You'll have to decide that. But this is an important card, not only because it's a major, but because it's a number 2 falling in the number 2 slot. So it has especially, important significance. Now this may tie to the past. Again, that past conditioning, past lives, going deep within, digging deep into your psyche. It may have to do with home, family, property. So this could be a connection that ties to home or family. And your challenge this week is going to be using your insight. And the pitfall is being intolerant of the ideas of other people, needing that Queen of Wands to be front and center. You have to have the spotlight. You've got to get the attention. Or again, maybe dealing with someone who's behaving that way. Now the third week you have the 3 of Pentacles. And although this isn't a major, it has strong significance in this reading. Issues of cooperation. So you may be trying to steer matters your way to get some help or advice or some cooperation. Some of that may come about this week through face-to-face meetings, cooperative efforts, therapy, counseling, the group dynamic at play. It's also about working hard, connecting with craftspeople. And so again, if you have a talent, you may be connecting to other talented individuals. You may be trying to perfect your skill, a craft, something that you're working on. And teamwork will be important this week. You want to make sure that you're using your talents, your gifts, your skills to the best of your ability. And for some of you, there's a chance to market and promote yourself. There's a chance to earn some money or to grow professionally or to increase your status in some way. especially through connections with others and putting in some sincere effort. Some of you, this is, about education. Maybe you're getting some training or a degree or some kind of certification. You're learning something in a group setting. Others of you, this is a decision about offering help to someone or receiving that or doing some work for other people. Now, for a very slight few of you, this may be some kind of change in residence. But this is about taking stock of a situation and perhaps seeing the strengths and weaknesses with input from other people. And because of that, because you get this advice or this, inner knowledge, your intuition kicks in or somebody gives you some information, you now can clearly see what's going to work and what doesn't work. So for you, this could be a really great week if you've done the groundwork for launching something that you've planned, some kind of pursuit, or to take a relationship to the next level, or to, pursue something greater with regard to a job. It's a good time to wrap some things up, projects, studies, and to, hone your craft or put the finishing touches on something. Maybe you have to let go of some parts of a project, the things that you now see, well, that's not going to work, or I'm going to have to do it this way. And it's also with an eye toward getting the most bang for the buck. You want to save money rather than spend money. So you may be focused on how you can effectively move something forward. Maybe this has to do with some home improvement or something planning, the use of having to look at the budget and see how you can best spend money or how you can make some repairs or improvement to something. And this could also be a week where you are focused on your aspirations, your dreams, and getting some help that may come through actual dreams. And you're also looking at where maybe you've been unrealistic in some situation. You may feel that you are being held back in some way by the clutter in your life. Could be actual, clutter. Maybe you got too many material things around you, or maybe you've got emotionally needy people or people that are always vying for your attention. Look at me, help me, it's about me. And you feel like this is getting in the way. You're dealing with insecurities of people, or maybe your own. And you feel if you could just make some changes, maybe if you could clear the clutter, get some of these people out of your life, off your neck, off your back, you might actually be able to accomplish something. This is also a week where, because it's about, looking at what's wrong with others, you may accuse someone or somebody may accuse you of not quite being who you first presented, either financially or emotionally. So there could be some, somebody calling you out about, this is not what you told me. This is not who you said you were or what you said you would do. Or somebody may be doing that to you. If that's the case, if you've got a whole lot going on, a lot of chaos or things that have to be improved or loose ends, things that aren't working, this is not the best week, obviously, to start something new. This is a time for you to focus on closing something out. Because if you start something new, you may be too distracted to even get anything out of it or enjoy it. And it may cost you more than you expect. In fact, if you're involved in any kind of travel, it may prove to be complicated, costly, or frustrating. Now, the last week you end on a major card. So the outcome of situations by the end of the month may largely be out of your hands. And again, there's another focus on young women, female children, getting some kind of assistance. Some of you, this may be related to counseling, therapy, healing agencies, or could be something spiritual. Maybe you're connecting to astrologers or psychics. So this is a week where you're going to be focused on the future. Maybe you're planning or getting some education or training or some information that affects your future. There's some uncertainty about where you're headed. and you're going to have faith in what you're doing and where you're going. So you may be seeking some form of comfort or relief or help or protection. And again, illumination. In fact, you have some illumination. You are right now, whether you're aware of it, are being divinely guided by the stars. There's a higher power that's helping you, and you may be getting aid or help from various sources, help from above, help from, places that you weren't necessarily expecting help from. Because you may be trying to solve some kind of dilemma, mystery, enigma that has eluded you thus far. And you're going to have to go within or get some help somewhere else. This is also another card of special talent. So you could be training, trying to develop, get some guidance on how to grow and blossom in your area of creativity. And right now, maybe you're looking at where something wasn't quite built on a solid foundation, or there are some things that need to be improved. And you are having to rely on hope. That may be just about all you have right now. You could be sort of feeling like you're in no man's land. And hope is helping you move forward. It's going to rejuvenate, re-jumpstart you. It's motivating you to keep moving forward, because you know that this is not the final destination. In fact, there's this deep feeling within that something big is approaching you on the horizon. You're on the verge of some kind of personal transformation. And your intuition is very strong. And so getting in touch with yourself, letting your intuition guide you, is how you're going to get to the other side of a situation. Maybe you're dealing with something that's unsettling, disturbing, unknown. There's some uncertainty. And you've been forced to deal with the reality that may not have been comfortable for you. But this is, in my mind, a very spiritual time for you, when the universe is allowing you to see who you are. You may not realize how strong and how powerful and how gifted and talented you are unless you're put under some kind of duress, and it allows you the opportunity to arrive. You suddenly discover who you are, your personal great. And so you're able to move forward. So you may have a sense of renewal, a new beginning where you are revitalized. For some of you, this may be actual healing. Could be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is. You're being tested on your ability to believe that whatever's going on, there's a reason for it. There's a positive purpose behind even the most challenging situation. But challenge is an important word for you. You're going to have to realize what is a healthy challenge versus just what is a no-win situation. Is the faith warranted in where you're going? Is it just, a rocky path, and when you get past this other side, that's where the rainbow is? Or are you just putting in a lot of time and effort on something that's not going to pay off? If you can determine the difference between those two scenarios, your path is going to be much smoother. But because you have a lot of emotion, it may be difficult for you to tap into that intuition. Those are tied together, but you may misinterpret intuition as, emotion as intuition. So this is about your faith. You could be unveiling some truth about a circumstance or about yourself. You definitely need to encourage a positive mindset, because your faith in yourself, other people, or a situation that you have come to believe up until this point is about to be challenged. And the more open you are to new possibilities, the more likely that the faith you have is going to be rewarded. Although this is going to be a totally different scenario. The story is not ending exactly as you wrote it. So for some of you, you're going to feel a sense of restoration. There's hope and faith in the future. And if you've been, pessimistic, that was unjustified. But for others of you, you're having to get real. Maybe you're not accessing the help that's being offered. Maybe what you want is going to be delayed, or you've used poor judgment. Maybe you're not, tapping into the spiritual guidance that's there, and you feel a sense of anxiety. Some of that may be due to ill health, or again, self-doubt or egotism, whatever it is. This is about faith, but not to the point where you deceive yourself about what's possible. Now, this is all being driven by this World card. And so for some of you, there's going to be this sense of achievement. You may reach a goal that you've been going after. So you could be closing some things out. And remember that the third week is a good week to wrap some things up, to put some things out there. Maybe you're going to receive the recognition, the prize, because of a job well done. For some of you, again, this is going to be about a change for you, a change of job, a change of residence. Maybe you're doing some traveling. It could even be overseas, or maybe you're involved with the wider world at large, whether that's through international affairs or being on the internet, or being just concerned with the environment. For some of you, the star maybe represents water. Maybe you're making some decisions that connect to water damage to your property. Or some of you, maybe you're going to add in a hot tub, or I don't know. Whatever it is, this is reaching a natural conclusion. You've fulfilled some kind of cycle, and you're ready to start fresh. So it's the culmination of something, and you may be expanding your horizons in some way. That could be through training or some insights or your talents. But it's also knowing where to draw the line, knowing how to say no. What is beyond your ability? Where are there limitations? Now, positively, there's an opportunity presenting where luck is at play, there are possibilities opening. If you're willing to take a risk, there's a fresh start that you're trying to make, and you're going to get a second chance at something. You're going to have to look at your habits, the emotional dependencies, if something is good for you. And this is the great moment for you to start something new. Maybe this is changing your outlook, having that positive mindset, or maybe it's about your health, exercising, eating the right foods, relaxing more, being more creative, seeking that better job that you feel satisfied with, letting go of relationships that don't work for you and that are draining for you. Now, in this process, when you're taking stock, you may be very hard on yourself. You may be looking at where you've deceived yourself or where you put in the time for something that didn't work. But this is a period of having compassion for yourself, for others, forgiving you where you fell short, and forgiving others as well, so you can wipe the slate clean and make a fresh start. It takes initiative and self-motivation to do that. And if you can, you're going to have a couple of fortunate business, social, or romantic connections or opportunities that cross your path. Now remember, the High Priestess says, though, your intuition should kick in, because some of these may just be desires. They may not be destiny, or they may come with some strings attached to them. Now, this is a great period for you to look to the future. Maybe you're working with technology or a talent or your health or spirit, and you've made some decisions. You're going to make some positive changes so that you can enjoy life. And this could be a period where it's easy for you to uphold those because of your faith. The better you feel about you, what you're doing, where you're headed, even if you don't know the final destination, the easier it's going to be for you to overcome challenge, for you to deal with challenging people, to outwit the competition, even coerce opponents to come to your side in a peaceful, way. So this is a period of opportunity for you simply by being the very best you. And you may find that in some situation in your life where you've had to have faith, that's all you had to rely on is your hope. It could have been something challenging like a medical situation, something financial or legal. This is a period where you may be able to make great strides. Now, you may feel very challenged to make some changes, but in some cases, it's going to be difficult for you to do that. You're going to fall back on some old habits, some old go-to behaviors. And you may start something, but you don't have the true motivation to follow it through. You have a vision, but that may be all it ever is, depending on what your intention is, how you started, and the intention you use to set it in motion. You have to be careful of the temptation to go too far. Remember, this is about limitations. Looking at what is working and what is not working. You may go too far. You may overextend yourself financially. Maybe you go over the budget. Maybe you overstep some emotional boundaries. You push some people. You trigger some situations. You might become too daring, too risky, too devious in what you're trying to achieve, and you make other people feel uncomfortable. So this is about being enthusiastic about where you're headed, but keeping your head on straight and setting some realistic goals that can help you feel more alive. Now that may mean keeping an eye on the bottom line and being more frugal in a situation. This is about, looking at where perhaps you're voluntarily staying in a rut, or you setting some things in motion but you don't finish what you start. So there could be a lack of commitment, or you are quitting something too soon, or you're resistant to change, or you're unwilling to face the future in some way. So you have to address any insecurities that you have, any unfinished business where you've been stagnating and where you are allowing imperfection to overtake you. Now, this is going to tie to your attachments to people, to circumstances, to situations. You're looking at what you give out and what you take in. And it also connects to your future, your long-range goals, your destiny, and the people that impact that. And for some of you, this may come through the form of some kind of crisis situation where you actually have to rely on faith and hope. Now, you have 3 major cards, so this is going to be an emotionally or spiritually significant month for you. Again, your keys to getting past any kind of challenge is to rely on your intuition, to have faith in a situation, and to remain enthusiastic about where you're headed. How you can undercut your success is by being intolerant of the viewpoints of other people, and to deceive yourself about true potential and become impractical in a situation. Now, for some of you, you may experience something where you have some kind of suppressed excitability or irritability. So self-control, self-will is important. You may be striving for independence. In some cases, you may have this desire to suddenly separate yourself from others. You may be suffering in some way. There could be some sudden damage or some sudden illness. Someone may be acting, though, as a benevolent friend or a good Samaritan. Someone is providing the stability when the other is under fire. And if there are separations, there is also a period of union, together again like long-parted lovers. Maybe you're at home at ease with another person. You may be a little self-indulgent, though. There's the danger of trying to ignore problems. However, sooner or later, at some point, you have to face the music. Now let's look at your money card for this period. You have cheat sheet. Shortcuts, get-rich-quick schemes, or illicit activity may backfire. Avoid unnecessary risk to resources, making sure that you or associates are acting with integrity. So, yeah, I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who is less than noble in their, interactions with you, or you're coming up with ways to get over or, try to get around protocol, but this is not the month for you to do that. And this is driven by global reach. You have something of great value to offer the world. Now is the time to extend your reach beyond the normal boundaries. You have the ability to make an impact. So, this very much ties to this world card, where you may be connecting with people in the wider world, people who are very different than you are, different culturally, ethnically, socially, financially, and your ability to be tolerant, to be understanding, to have compassion, to have forgiveness for people who come from different walks of life, different strata, may be important. Now let's get a glimpse at your love life. You have divine time. So there's a need to trust, which is key with this star card and having faith. There's a need to trust that all things are happening at the time that they're meant to occur. This is divine time. So the universe is working to unfold a situation in a time frame that is deemed best and appropriate for your personal experience. And this may tie to take off. So it's the divine time to take off. For some of you, that may mean taking a trip, taking a journey, opening new horizons to yourself, new perceptions, new ideas, new concepts. It could be literal. Maybe you're going to take off on a trip. It's time to, experience the world, other cultures. You may be going to Europe. You may be seeking greater freedom. In some cases, maybe you're just running away. It could be that, it's time to take off from some relationships that aren't working, but it's divine time for something to take off. A talent, a connection, you may be taking a trip, your mind. Now is the time, and the universe is orchestrating it.